Hi-ho, my peeps, and welcome to how to make a $3 dinner. You know, there are only so many combinations you can come up with at the Dollar Tree. There's not a huge selection of product possibilities. So I thought I would put a grouping of things together that I often use, and let's talk about how to put together a $3 dinner. First of all, this Hungry Jack cheesy scallop potato mix is being, there we go, it's starting to cook right in there. So now the question is, what are the next two things I'm going to put in here to make this a $3 dinner? So we'll put that aside. Normally when you make a $3 dinner, let's back up. I think what I'm going to put in here, just so we can get that finished with, so I've got $1, then I've got another $1's worth of chicken right here. And let's see if there's anything else here. Oh, you know what I'm going to do? I am going to add some frozen vegetables. So I'm going to hop in my freezer here, and I'm going to see what I have in the way of frozen vegetables from the Dollar Tree. I almost always have something lying around here. I like to get this here. This is what I'm going to use. This is one of my favorite things to use. And it is, I'm going to put it down and I'm going to flip my phone around again. It's these winter blend vegetables. I almost always keep a couple of these in my freezer at any given time while they're escaping, so that I can add a vegetable to a starch, and I'll throw that in there. So I'll add a vegetable to a starch, and often with either a meat or a cheese or some sort of egg addition. So that's what we're doing tonight. It's the winter blend vegetables, the Hungry Jack with some chicken. It's going to make a nice, in fact, sorry about that. I'm going to go ahead and dump what's in there. Might as well get that all cooking. I like to cook the vegetables with the packaged starch thing, just because they cook down really nicely, and it'll just be easier. So the strategy here is a starch, a vegetable, and a meat if you can. Sometimes you end up with 2 starches and a meat, or 2 starches and a vegetable, but starch, meat, vegetable is the choice you want to go to. Now, when you choose a starch, it's helpful to choose something that's already seasoned. In other words, I could have put the egg noodles and this tuna and the vegetable in there. The problem is I wouldn't have had any seasoning. I would have had to have gone up into my seasoning cabinet and figured out how I wanted to season it, which is fine. But by choosing something that's pre-seasoned, you don't even need to worry about that part. So let's take a look at the other things I have here that I could have chosen from. I have some white egg noodles, and I have some penne pasta. Now, obviously, the white egg noodles, some tuna, and then a can of soup. This happens to be beef chunky vegetable. I've got some tomato and meatball, and then I've got some of the more traditional mushroom that I got from Dollar Tree that's in my pantry, so that could have worked. Also, here's a penne pasta. With that penne pasta, I could have chopped up some of this pepperoni, either half or the whole thing, and to that I could have added this tomato soup, which obviously is already pre-seasoned, so you don't have to worry about the seasoning. Or I could have added the Prego garlic and herb, which I would have tasted to see if it had enough seasoning. If not, I would have added. So that's a possibility. Then back here I've got these brown sugar and bacon baked beans. Now, you could put together a baked dish with some cooked penne pasta or some cooked egg noodles, maybe half a can of this, and maybe some of the cheese that I like to get from Dollar Tree. I'm going to show it to you. Let me see if I've got one in here that hasn't been eaten up. I don't. Anyway, the cheese that I like to use from the Dollar Tree is the it's called, I think it's called Silver State Pepper Jack. It's actually a real cheese as opposed to the cheese melt stuff. Now, there's nothing wrong with using cheese melts if you like that. I mean, if you like the taste and you're okay with the ingredients and all that, use it by all means. If I can use a real cheese, I like to. So a lot of times my husband will buy big blocks of Jarlsberg at Costco, and you can grate some of that and put it into your $3 meal. Just kind of pay attention to how much cheese you're putting in, because the whole idea is you don't want to go over $3 to feed your family, or to feed them kind of their main dish anyway. So so that's another thing. So let's take another look at these ingredients, see what else we could have done with them. So, whoa, just dropped the lid of my pan. All right. You could do something where you cook some penne pasta, you mix a little bit of this brown sugar bacon and some chicken of the sea tuna and bake it. And you could make a casserole that way. So I think you're getting the idea. A starch, a meat and egg or a cheese, and then some kind of a vegetable product of some sort. So that would be like your soups or your sauce, some beans. Here's another soup. So anyhow, that is my strategy for making a $3 dinner. And go to the Dollar Tree or your Dollar General or any place you can get your discount foods and be creative. Just be creative and think in terms of vegetable, starch, preferably seasoned, and some sort of a protein add. And if you do that, you will all of a sudden, you're going to find yourself getting, sorry, the smoke is still bugging me from, I mean, the fire's out, but we still get smoke drifting around. We had that huge fire up in Mariposa recently. Anyway, you're going to start getting really creative on how you put stuff together. So, my suggestion is that when you are next at the Dollar Tree, think in terms of those three categories. Pick up some rice and some egg noodles and some pasta. Pick up some soups. Pick up some boxed dinners like the jambalaya and the scalloped potatoes like I'm using tonight, and some cans of tuna. Whatever it is that you're comfortable with eating from Dollar Tree, pick it up and start thinking in terms of adding those three things together. So, that is my overview of how I put a $3 meal together. Also, remember your greens. Greens are super important. If you could make this kind of starchy mess of a dinner, and if you put it over a pile of spinach or lettuce or kale or cabbage, either cooked or fresh, you're going to be getting a lot of the vitamins and minerals that come from greens, the fiber that comes from that stuff. So always pair, if you can, your Dollar Tree foods, your discount foods with your $3 meal. Always pair it with some sort of fresh green thing, if you can. And throughout the United States, most of us are able to grow greens at least part of the year. So think in terms of putting in your own garden with chard or, kale or spinach or cabbage or whatever grows well in your area. I haven't done it yet, but that's high on my list of priorities. I want to have a greens garden going. And living here in California, we pretty much have, the growing season is 4 seasons long. So, you can, if you're lucky enough to live in kind of a temperate climate, you can supply yourself with greens and you and your family for the entire year. So, those are my words of wisdom vis-a-vis the $3 meal. And I will talk to you guys later. Bye.